What is up, everybody? This is the CodeMaster from Team 14627 Spare Parts. Alright, in case you didn't already know, this is the second episode of my Basics series. So today, we are going to be coding our first drivetrain. I'm going to be coding just a regular tank drivetrain. A tank drivetrain means that the right side motor or motors go forward, and the left side motors go backward, and it spins around, and then both motors go forward, and both sides go forward, and then the robot goes forward. It's the simplest possible drivetrain, and that's why I'm doing it today, because it's really simple to program. So we're going to go back into our test op mode right here. And as you can see, it is right where we left it in the last video. The first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the Java. Get out of here, we don't like you. And then, the first thing I need to do is go over to this gamepad, not the gamepad, actuators, DC motor, and I want to select the second block from the top right here. It says back right direction reverse block. And the reason I am using this block is to reverse my motors, and the reason I have to reverse my motors is because half of my motors are flipped over on the other side of my robot. I've got two motors on one side and two motors on the other side. So if, forward is forward for two of the motors, and forward is backward for the other two of the motors. So if I told all four of the motors to go forward, the robot would spin around in circles. Man, I can't English today. Believe me, I did that earlier. So, I'm actually gonna reverse my left side motors. So back left and front left. Alright. I'm coding with a four-wheel drivetrain. If you have a two-wheel drivetrain, the coding will not be any different. It's just for two wheels. I'll give a picture of what it would look like for a two-wheel drivetrain at the end of the video. So the next thing I'm going to do is take my back right motor, and I'm actually going to copy and paste it several times. Oh, I did that by selecting the code and pressing Control-C and then Control-V several times to copy and paste this block right here several times. So the next thing I'm going to do is change these motors. Back right, front right, back left, front left. So now I've got the back right motors right here, and then the left side motors up here. And I'm going to control my right side motors with the right side of my controller right here with the right stick. And then the left side of the motors I'm going to control, or the left side of the drivetrain rather, I'm going to control with my left. That's right. I'm going to control them with my left stick. There we go. Alright. And now I'm going to check over my code again, make sure everything's alright. And now we are good to go. We just need to save our op mode, and now we're ready for a little demonstration.
And now the demonstration with our trusty robot Gandalf. We're going to go to our code right here. As you can see, I have the op mode initialized. I am connected to Wi-Fi, and I'm just going to push that and initialize and play. And I have my controller right here. I'm going to make sure it's turned on. Start A. I have my controllers right here. And now it should. Alright. I push this one forward, and then I push this one forward. The motors move again, and they move backwards, forwards, and everything, and all that jazz. And now I'm going to put this sucker on the ground and try and drive it. Alright. As you can see, it drives beautifully. I can go backward, I can go forward and back. I can go backward, forward again, and I'm going to spin around the other way. Awesome.
Alright, for those of you working on a two-wheeled drivetrain, this is the code you will be using. It's literally the same as the four-wheel drivetrain, except I deleted the everything having to do with four motors. So now it's down to two motors. I've reversed one of the motors, and I've got two motors right here. I've done my back right and back left motors. I literally just programmed it to the back half of my drivetrain. And yes, I tested it. It works. You can use this code. Feel free to pause the video and look over this code carefully to replicate it if you're doing a two-wheel drivetrain. And another thing I forgot to mention in the video, this part right here, this gamepad 1, this needs to be always set to gamepad 1. Make sure it is and not gamepad 2, unless otherwise directed, if that makes sense, because then it will not work if it says anything other than gamepad 1 right here. Alright, so with that out of the way, I bid you adieu. CodeMaster out.